Hello vinyl community, I am back, and after I did my video from Friday, those of you that have seen it, you will know that sort of where I've been at with doing videos and so forth. So this actually comes a little bit sooner than I was anticipating with essentially a vinyl update video. I wanted to thank everybody for your support and your comments. I really do appreciate it. And I think for the most part, that is probably what has initiated me doing this sooner than later. So I wanted to give a big thank you to everybody who watched and supported and commented on that short video from Friday. And just wanted to let you know that it means a lot to me. So thanks everybody. Cheers. So if you watched that short couple-minute video from Friday, or if you haven't, you probably know that it's been 8 weeks or so since my last video. Music-wise, it's been a productive couple of months for me, picking up stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show everything today, or I should say, fortunately, I'm not going to show everything today, including in what I'm excluding are RSD purchases and purchases that I actually made from this past weekend. And there are a few more interesting pieces that I bought, and maybe I'll save that for the next video. So in the meantime here, I've got a healthy stack of what I'm going to show you. So without wasting any more time, the first one is Hybrid by Michael Brook. And on this with Michael is, I should say, are Brian Eno and Daniel Langlois. And I'm sure most of you have heard about Brian Eno. For those of you that aren't familiar with Daniel Langlois, he is a Canadian producer, songwriter, musician himself. He's worked with a lot of big cats like Neil Young, U2, Brian Eno, of course, Bob Dylan. And this is, first and foremost, it's an ambient album. It's spacey, dare I say tribal at times. Fantastic stuff. This is probably of the dozen sort of ambient albums that I've purchased over the last year or two. This is way up there. If you want to leave the planet for about 42 minutes, just turn the lights off and put some headphones on and let this be your seatbelt. Very, very good. And speaking of Daniel Langlois, this is a record that he produced. This is Bob Dylan's Oh Mercy from 1989. A record that can be quite difficult to locate. So happy to add this one to my Bob Dylan collection. I think of Dylan's 80s pieces, this is probably my favorite album from the 80s. Infidels would be close, but that probably takes the top spot. The next three albums I'm going to show are from the same label, and I suspect for most people a good indication of a good sound label is somebody or a label that is consistent with the quality of their music, and of course throughout the variety of the artists that are on the label. And one of the highlights, or one of the big ones that come to mind for me in terms of consistency, is ECM. The first is Blue Sun by Ralph Towner, and these are all considered, these next three are all considered ECM highlights for these artists. And I think I actually know two of them from the same spot, and one was from online. So Ralph Towner. I want to say Sweden, Terje Ripdahl. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have one other from him, and I was corrected once before. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that again. This is What Comes After, and this is a promotional copy. Excellent stuff. I've only listened to actually all three of these once through. This next one I've listened to twice. This one I believe is known as maybe one of his best works. And this is Steve Kuhn Trance from 1975. Just a fantastic record. And on drums on this is Jack DeJohnette. Steve Kuhn. Nice shape too. And we'll stick to some more jazz. This features Nexus, which is a Canadian outfit. This is with Paul Horn, and I believe this is simply just self-titled Paul Horn and Nexus. And I found this decent shape. Probably, I think it was only $8 or $9 too. So very happy to have this. This album's actually been on my phone for about a year and a half. Nice to find that. These guys are from Stratford, Ontario. Anybody else know who's from Stratford, Ontario? Justin Bieber. This is Does Not Exist by the Perth County Conspiracy. And this can be difficult to find. I suspect in Southern Ontario this might be a little easier to find than other places because they're from here, so you would just naturally think that they're floating around here really more than anywhere else. There's a little bit of everything on here. Maybe a little bit of rock, definitely folk, definitely some country. On the surface, you might think that, and I'm going to open it up and show you. On the surface, you might think that this might be maybe an LSD trip gone bad, but it's really well put together. And the pictures sort of depict a little bit of what it sounds like here and sort of what was going on. But it's really well done. There's somebody's putting their marker, their name in marker up top there. But other than that, it's in really nice shape too. But it's not overboard, which is really nice. Produced well, maybe perhaps, but yeah, it just doesn't go overboard. So quite happy with this. I'd seen it a couple of times in the VC before, and I never saw it until maybe 3 weeks ago, I think, when I picked it up. So I was happy to find that. These two I recently picked up. Actually, these are I got on this part of the group from this past weekend, and I included them here. I haven't listened to them yet, but they're probably two that I regard the most, so I wanted to show them sooner than later. The first one is simply just a compilation album. This is them featuring Van Morrison. Really nice shape. There's a place, it's used mostly CDs and video games and movies in Ontario. Actually, they might be throughout other parts of Canada as well, called The Beat Goes On. They deal with buying used stuff, and in the last maybe year or two, they've gotten into selling used, buying and selling used LPs, and this one and the next one I got from there. And they were only, I think they were $5 each. This is only the second album that I have from Rory. This is top priority. Haven't listened to it yet, but I think it's easy to say that Rory's got a good 4 or 5 albums that you just simply can't go wrong with, so I look forward to listening to that. When you say, when you hear this guy's name, a lot of people think Tubular Bells, which of course is excellent, but I think I like Amadon a little better. Mike Goldfield. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but when I got this, I listened to it a few times right off the bat. Excellent stuff. Never had anything from these guys before. I think I was a little off the mark in sort of anticipating what they were like. I think they were more, in my head I was thinking they were more electronic. But I actually was really happy with this. This is Organization by Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. Nice shape. Really happy with this. And as I say, I didn't have anything else from these guys. I don't know much. But maybe more synth pop than electronic, but really good listen. Happy to add that to the collection. Okay, the last, well, there's 4 left, but these next 3, very happy to find. I think everyone's heard of these guys. The Soft Machine. This is volume 2, their second record, of course. You just almost never see these. I'm not sure if this, I don't recall, I should say, if this is an original or not. It's a US pressing. Bit of ring wear on the back there, but just very hard to find. Excellent album. I think I like Third better than this, but excellent stuff. Okay, a couple of UK prog rock bands. This first one is Last Autumn's Dream by Jade Warrior. And I was in Winnipeg a couple of weeks ago, and I found this used for $15. And this is my first Vertigo Swirl label. Excellent shape. Very happy to find this. $14.99. Jade Warrior. Self-titled Flash, also prog rock from the UK. This has been shown a couple of times. I'd never seen it before. Had to get it. Okay, one more to go, and it's going to be Elvis. There are some other Elvis pieces. You can see the searcher maybe behind me there, but this is one that I was really happy with. There's a couple Elvis pieces that I picked up. This is the only one that I'm going to show. Elvis's Golden Record Volume 1, I think everybody knows it. Original red cover, has the blue writing on it. This is one that I've been seeking out because it's an alternate cover that I actually like better. It's fantastic. It's a nice shape. It's a UK pressing from 1970. It's a reissue. Just beautiful. And that's Orange RCA there. So this I actually ordered online. So very happy to find this. Again, that's the 1970 reissue, UK pressing. And that's it. What am I at? 12 minutes or so. So that's it for this time. Thanks again, VC, for watching. Please comment if there's anything that you want to say. Thanks again, everybody, for your comments. I really do appreciate it. It really is quite humbling to know that you guys take interest and you want to see these things. So I do have some more stuff. Hopefully, maybe within a week or two, I can, or sooner, I can get together another video sooner than later. So again, I hope everybody is well. Bye, guys. Love you all.